major airstrikes taking place across Tehran. There have been rumors circulating the U.S. is already engaged, but we've got no evidence that is the case. And I'm hoping it is not the case. But it looks like Donald Trump, whoever, is gearing up for at least airstrikes in Iran.
Yeah, can I just say something about that? That, you know, there's been a lot of people and who are sort of dying to be first on X and, I've reported it. Like, unless U.S. forces are responding to a direct threat, somebody's fired on them and they're firing back and they have to, I don't think that Trump is going to commit U.S. forces to a direct strike on Iran without some kind of statement first. I just don't think he would do that. You know what I mean? That, you know, or it'd be concurrent, that sort of thing. I don't think that we would find out about that on X, if that makes sense.
I hope we wouldn't, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Donald Trump likes the internet. He likes Truth Social. He likes X.
Well, yeah, if he's posting it himself, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always that kind of possibility that he would make an announcement himself.
Right. But I mean, like, for some random X account just pops up and I'm Osint, bro, and I know that the U.S. is currently doing this. And it's like, guy, like, if you read those Osint, I call them Brosin accounts, and if you read Brosin accounts, like, we've been at war with Iran for like 10 years, and there's been like all these other strikes that have gone on, and also Iran has like blown up a ton of stuff in the U.S., and it's like this constant just stream. Like, there's a lot of misinformation in there, as well as true stuff as well.
I can't trust the thing that I read on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I do trust things that Trump puts out on Truth, which, if you guys have been following, has been absolutely insane. He warned people to evacuate Tehran, which was absolutely bananas. Posobiec, I wanted to get your take on Trump boasting we now have complete and total control over Iran skies.
Well, the royal we. I mean, I think there's an understanding there that Iran's air defenses have been completely degraded, and they were heavily degraded from the April and October strikes of last year. And it was in a situation where I think a lot of people were saying the S-300 systems could potentially have been brought back online. But to Tim's point, you know, Russia has not provided them with any extra S-300 systems since that time. Russia's air defense is very capable, as we've seen in Ukraine over the past couple of years. And so the fact that they haven't backfilled those, the fact that Israel was able to, I think a conjunction of, it still has to be shaken out, but a conjunction of these Mossad strikes as well as probably cyber and electronic warfare has basically taken the entire air defense net offline. And I'm more familiar with, all right, I have to be careful about this, the North Korean side of things, but I do know that a lot of the, and all right, I'll just speak generally, a lot of military air defense systems typically operate on like one or two networks. So they're highly vulnerable to cyber attack if you're able to get something into that system, because they're all on one system basically. And they don't really have a lot of fail safes in there. And particularly, I remember being told that with Iran and North Korea, that they were very susceptible to this type of attack.
I know there were questions about how involved we are. Many people are reading into him saying that as we now have complete and total control over Iran skies, as us being involved. Are you reading into it that way?
I don't have any information either way.
I think it's royal we. I think he's talking about us and our allies. And he says when Israel does it, he's saying like all of us together.
I think it's like
doesn't mean like
it's like the royal we. Not I don't put it this way. And I think the State Department, or excuse me, the Defense Department actually put out something saying that, hey, to clarify, this does not mean the U.S. is involved in direct quote unquote control of the skies. But he sort of means, to your point, this is the royal we.
Aside from the mobilization,
he sure used it.
Aside from the mobilization that we're seeing from the military, there's another component that makes me think we're going to intervene, and that is the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Because
my favorite show.
They attacked Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene. They attacked you, Jack. Who was there? Was one more person in there? Charlie Kirk. And they took you guys completely out of context, and it was very strange. It was very strange because there are Trump supporters who cheered on No New Wars, who are now on X cheering on intervention in Iran. Seems like hypocrisy. Jon Stewart could very easily come out and say, "Hey, look at these hypocrites." Instead, he chooses to target the staunch anti-intervention faction of the MAGA base and tries to discredit them, namely Bannon and Jack and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Charlie Kirk, by claiming that Jack called for the military to be deployed against 75 million Democrats in the United States, which is an absurdity and a lie. And I had to ask myself, why would he do that when he could mock those who actually support the war? He's not going to mock those support war, just like we saw in the early 2000s. The machine, the state, and the narrative machine was all about supporting our intervention. And this time around, they want to do the same thing. So when I say this leads me to believe that there will be intervention, is that there's a concerted effort, even on liberal media, to mock and discredit the strongest voices saying no war, implying there is a concerted effort to have us intervene in the region, just like we saw in the 2000s. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.